Good morning, welcome to Bars and Bells. My name is Ian.
And I'm Lauryn.
And this is Restore and Recharge at the Bar. We have our bar on the wall and a chair by our side, where we invite you to get balance aid and play with your body weight strength and restore movement with gentle stuff first and push-ups near the end. We'll start with that head neck. At the head neck, tuck in your chin. You can sit, you can stand, get yourself comfortable in any way. We'll do that chin tuck in and first add an extension, meaning looking up towards the ceiling. Then flexion or chin towards the chest, nice and small. It does not need to be a big shape. Do that one more time of extension, looking up, breathing all the way, and then chin tuck down. Chin might touch the top of that sternum. Reset your gaze on the horizon, looking forward. Now the nose stays in the same place as we laterally bend or flex up towards an ear to shoulder. Then return the head to neutral or center. Same thing the other way. Isolate so that the head moves, the neck barely moves, and that the body does not move. Last one each way. Lateral bend. Easy style does it. Last lateral bend. Return center. Lastly, at the head neck, rotation time. Tuck that chin in. I'll rotate over my right shoulder, looking towards Lauryn. Always aiming to get tall with the chin tuck through center next, and then rotate the other direction. Once more each way, keep the chin in, nice and tall. Rotation to center, and rotation, finish center. Let's take a detour with our breath. Hand, belly, hand, chest. Lips slightly closed, breathe in through the nose and fill the belly. Filling full, pulling away from the spine. On an exhale, pull or draw that belly button back towards your core center. Repeat again, breath in and exhale. Now keep that belly button drawn in and breathe into the chest. Breath in and a slow exhale. Repeat once more, breath in and exhale. We'll come back to the breath in just a moment. Let's explore the same shapes that we did at the head and neck through that rib cage. For that, I like my hands in tight, my shoulder blades in retraction or squeeze, a very modest chin tuck, and then round through that upper back, pulling the rib cage to the hips, and then low effort to extend. Keep your head moderately tucked at the chin neck there, making sure we're not looking up to the ceiling. Repeat once more. Easy style flex are those shoulder blades pulled together. Then on the extension, it doesn't need to go much, but just try to open up that upper back. Reset the head neck to center and laterally bend. Then repeat to the other side. Hello to that comment there. We'll check that out in just a second. Through center, repeat again, laterally bending on those hips, and last one to the other side. Return to center. Lastly, rotation. Can we do it so that the hips and head stay forward and the rib cage rotates to center? If the head has to come along, that's okay too. But for an additional challenge, keep the head centered, hip center, and rotations through that rib cage. Last one to the other side. And return center. One more time with the breathing, and we'll throw it on over to Lauryn for the ankles. Hand belly, hand chest. We're going to add some pauses here today. Take your 4-second breath in. And just hold full, also for 4 seconds. A 4-second exhale. Hold empty for 4 seconds. Repeat one last time. Breath in for 4 seconds down low. Fill full and hold. Exhale for 4 seconds. Hold empty for 4 seconds. The belly button is drawn in. Now let's breathe into the chest. 4 seconds in. Hold. And 4 seconds exhale. The belly is still drawn in, holding empty, filling one last time. Breath in and a hold. And an exhale. And also a hold. And resume your breathing. Try the box breathing to prepare for movement, to restore, to sleep, to do your thing. And here we go to the ankles and feet with Lauryn.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Happy Friday.
Yeah, Friday.
Or any day in the office, for that matter.
Ooh, nice.
All right, with our feet underneath us, let's get those toes moving. We haven't done this in a while. Let's spread out those toes of our feet. Spread them wide. You can have a glance down here. Can you get those pinkies to touch? And then the rings, the middles, and then the index and the big toe all down nice and heavy. While they're spread out, feel that weight in through the heels, balls of the foot, as well as the lateral aspects of the feet, and you're pulling those arches up by gripping the floor. As well, we have those kneecaps pulled up so our quads are engaged, our butts are squeezed, and our core is braced. Now, stay, but just relax that tension. From there, we'll pull on the floor, pulling that heel off the floor, getting to that demi-point position. We'll push into the floor to get to the big toe point. Allow the toes to roll over. Once we're rolled over, could we kick that ankle out to the side? Bring it back to center. Wing the ankle in a little bit, back to center, and then get to the tips of the toes, the ball of the foot. The hip extends as the heel drives towards the floor. Repeat, feel that pull off the floor. Then use the big toes to point. Gently roll over the toes. Let the foot wing out a little bit. Pull it back to center. Wing in a little bit to center. And then all the way to the tips of the toes, down through the balls of the foot. Hip extends as those heel drives down. Nice. For 2, we'll just add a knee bend, pushing the knees towards over the toes, and then press through to tall. Repeat again. Pull those knees over the toes and press through to tall. This time, keep growing up and find a light balance. Find a place you can get to with strength, and then slowly come home or down with control. Nice. From there, could you shift your weight back a little bit, but keep your butts underneath you and try to lift the balls of your feet off the floor and balance on your heels without sticking your butt back. For 4, 3, 2, and then place those feet down again. Let's take 1 second off, and we'll come back to those in a second, but let's do a little forward fold. So we're standing with our feet underneath us here. We'll tuck our chin and slowly roll ourselves down. As we roll ourselves forward here, let's pretend there's that wall behind us and in front of us, or we're in that telephone booth. As you start rolling, you're thinking about flexing or rounding every vertebrae. Now, once you're down here, take a nice breath. Maybe have a little bend in the knees. Maybe they're straight, whatever feels good. While we're hanging out here, could we shift our weight forward a little bit? The heels stay down, but put a little bit more weight into the balls and the toes of your feet. And then, engaging all the muscles on the front side of your core and the back side of your spine, unroll yourself, stacking all the way back to tall. Nice. From there, we'll continue on with our feet, but from a slightly different position. We'll start with that turned out positioner first. Same idea. Let's pull that foot to the demi point again. Use the toes to point. Gently allow the foot to roll over, trying to keep the knee to the side here. Then get back to the toe point, the ball of the foot, and the heel crushes down. Repeat on the other side. Feel that pull off the floor. Point the toes. Allow the foot to roll over. Get back to pointy, down through the ball, heel connects. From here, 2, just knee bends towards over toes and press to tall. And as you're doing this as well, imagining you're a piece of bread in the toaster and you don't want to get burnt on the front or the back. So keep your butt underneath you. Once you stretch, let's find a light rise up here. Balls of the feet rooted, pushing down and away, holding for 3, 2, and then keeping the knees straight. Heels connect. Nice. Shake that out. Instead of folding this time, let's warm up our hinge. So with our feet slightly wider than our hips, we'll add a little bit of a tailbone tilt back as we push those hips back. Let's hang out here for a second. I like to straighten my arms and they rest towards my shins here. Having a look, my toes are gripping the floor. Those arches are engaged. Now, let's lift our hips 1 millimeter in the air. And that'll straighten a little bit or pull those shins to more vertical, but put more load on the hamstrings. And then drop the hips a little bit. Repeat again. Lift the hips a little bit, making those shins more vertical. Feel that load more on the hamstrings. and then relax and push down and away to stand up to tall. Nice. One last foot thing, and then we'll get to some sissy squats here. Let's start in that slightly wider position, but then we'll push our weight to one side. So we're stacked on that standing leg, the ball of our foot is down on the other leg. From here, use your toes to point your foot, and then put the ball of the foot back down. Point your foot, ball of foot. As we do this 3 more times, you're trying to keep your knee nice and straight. That inseam is facing forward. You feel that lateral butt cheek. I believe we have 1 more here. Then we'll put the ball of the foot down, the heel connects, and press to the other side. Stay nice and stacked, same thing other side. Toes point, ball of foot. Toes point, ball of foot. Inseams forward, knee is straight. We're making that foot and arch do all that work for last 1. And then back to center. And for 2 again, our knees go towards over our toes and we press to tall. And 1 last time, our knees go towards over our toes and we press to tall. And then this time, find that light balance again, trying to keep the inside of the heels forward and the knees straight, and then slowly descend. Shaking it out, and Ian will take us through some sissy squat progressions.
Getting
Not so
towards
sissy.
the floor, there is nothing sissy about that. You're darn right, Lauryn. Feet in a parallel position, anywhere that's comfortable for you. They could be skis, tight like French fries, or just a little bit wider like hips. But we'll go knees over toes. Then from here, can we get onto the balls of the feet? Then press the heels down and push the hips through. Repeat, knees over toes, balls of feet, and then may we do our toe squat down. From here, we'll stand up once, on those toes if we can, and reset full heels to the ground. This time we'll end up on the floor. So we'll go flat feet, knees over toes. Then lift up the heels, pull yourself down, and with the hands or without, knees towards the floor, extend the hips through, and let's just do a quick wrist warm up because those push-ups are coming up near the end. Fingertips or bottom sides of the fingernails only. Place the fingers down, but no other part of the hand touches. Then connect the callus line. Then connect the heel of the hand so the full hand is screwed in. To help that screw in, that blood donation faces forward and the armpits are pulled down. From here, let's pull the hands to the knees to create tension. And then that might add that stability where we could lean forward, extending on the wrist, and then push the floor forward that your hips go back. Repeat, pull on the floor, create tension between you and the ground, extend the wrist, meaning leaning forward, then push the fingertips heavy in the ground that you go back. Let's repeat that 1 more time. We pull, we extend, we can press through, and this time push so much that you come back up. Let's switch that hand grip to the underhand version. Fingertips first. If this is too rich in the sense of really aggressive feelings on the forearms here, you can do this against a wall or an elevated surface. From fingertips to callus lines to full hands. Safely straighten elbows and pull those shoulders out of your ears. The pinky sides on both hands here, press into the floor. Create tension and relax. Then same thing on the ring fingers. Press those into the floor and relax. I like looking forward to be engaging here, but looking between those hands is safe and strong. Now it's time to press those ring fingers heavy. Middles, we did the rings. Middles. And then relax. And then do the index fingers. Create tension on the flexor side of the forearm. Don't forget those thumbs, let's press them in there too. And now press all 10 digits, heavy. Can we bend the elbows after that? And then lightly peel the hands away, finishing with a little bit of that flick. Shake it out. Lunge time, Lauryn.
Lunge
Take us
time.
into some hips from a lunge.
I like sandwiches. All right, From our lunge position, which means we'll bring one leg up into that lunge position. Our back toe is ideally tucked. If you find a lot of pressure on your back knee, you could untuck your foot. Just make sure it stays in a straight line behind you. Right now, let's do that little hula circle. So for 2 in each direction, you're just swirling that punch bowl or the pelvis as you reach around the room, creating a nice smooth circle, and then 2 in the other direction. As you do this, let's keep that grip on the floor, staying up tall in the upper body, and end up back to center. From here, we're tucked under in that back cheek. It's squeezed. This front foot is pushing down into the floor as well as pulling in. As it pulls in and this back hip extends, we might cruise a little bit forward here. As we do go forward, making sure you're staying stacked and not leaving your butt, pushing your butt too far forward where you arch that low back. Now stay where you are, relax, retuck and squeeze. Maybe you can drift a little bit further forward, but remember, keep that tuck. And then push down and forward to get all the way back up to tall, and keep extending that back hip. Keep extending, and relax. Let's take that heel toe out to the side and do the same thing. Tucked under in that back hip, squeeze cheek, pushing down, pulling on the floor. This time we're drifting knee towards over that toe laterally. Again, we're staying square with the hips and the upper body forward. Now relax out there, then retuck and squeeze. See if you can drift a little bit further forward, and now push down and away and get back up to tall. Keep that back hip extended. Heel toe the foot to center. Zip it underneath, and we'll do the same thing on the other side. We'll bring that second leg up in front. We'll set up in that nice lunge position, and then 2 hula circles each way. Scooping out the corners of the circles here, trying to create some room in those hips. 2 one way, 2 the other, moving around the femur heads there, and then tucking under that back hip, squeezing your back cheek, pushing down on the floor and pulling it in. As we do that, we'll start that drift forward. In that drift, we're still extending that back hip. Now relax, stay, then retuck and squeeze the back cheek, drift a little bit further forward, and then as you push forward to come back, keep extending that back hip so you meet tall, and relax. We'll heel toe that foot open to the side and do the same thing. We're tucked under, cheek squeezed, drive down, pull. Keep that hip extension in that back leg as you gently drift that knee towards over the toe, and then push down and away to get back up to tall. Again, extending that hip. One last time, pulling on the floor, drifting the knee towards over the toe, and then gently pressing all the way back up to tall. We'll heel toe that foot to the front, bring it underneath, and we're making our way to standing. How should we do that?
Let's do our sissy squat from here.
All right.
From this position, let's just flatten out those toes and gently hinge on the knees, or have your butt towards those feet in the back. Squeeze your right butt cheek. Feel some love, get some action there. Squeeze your left butt cheek. Does that work? Now, if you squeeze both of them, we extend those hips to our tall kneel position. Then we'll tuck our toes with the hands or without. Push yourself back towards the tippy toes, and maybe stand up on those toes, nice and tall, and then reset with flat feet on the ground in our little bit of our shake. Hip bars. So this is the time, I might have to cough, I'm sorry.
Hip bars. This is the time you might need your balance aid.
Excuse me.
So whether it's a countertop, a chair, or any other thing.
Yeah, balance aid.
Balance aid. Get it to your side and let's set up for our hip bars. What that means is we're standing tall on the inside leg. We have that light grip on our chair or our balance aid, so that balance isn't an issue. We take our outside leg to the front. Let's do a rotation in each place. Gently turn your inseam up towards the front of the room, then turn it to center. Internally rotate, hiding that inseam. Repeat again. Inseam turns up, and then hide it by turning that inseam down but not hiking a hip. Turn that leg up, open one more time, and now let's draw that circle to the side. Once the leg's in the side position, we'll do the same thing. We'll internally rotate on the leg, and then we'll open it up or inseam forward. And again, internally rotate, open it up, and we'll do one last one, ending in internal rotation, and then finishing the circle all the way out the back, rolling over the foot and pulling underneath to grow tall. From here, we'll do one to the back. So we'll reach long out the back, pointing the foot, keeping the hips forward. We'll open the leg in the socket as it comes to the side. Bring the leg all the way around the front and pull, growing tall underneath. I believe we're going to do this 2 times, right, Ian?
Mm-hmm.
So let's come back to this in a second on a bent leg. Until then, we'll switch sides. Standing tall on that inside leg, we'll point the outside to the front. Again, it's that external rotation, inseam up, back to center. Internal rotation, hiding the inseam. Repeat again as you're doing this. It's that femur that's rotating. The hips are staying level. One more time, internal. Then end with that inseam facing up. From there, we're drawing that circle to the side body and doing the same thing. Hide the inseam, internal rotation. Show it, external rotation. Repeat again, internal and external. And we'll do one more to end on internal and complete the circle all the way around the back. Roll over the foot, growing tall under. To the back, reach along in that leg, pointing the toe out. Opening the leg in its socket as it comes around to the side, hips stay forward, all the way around to the front, and then it connects underneath, pushing those hips through.
From balls and sockets down below to balls and sockets up in the shoulders. Stand with your feet in a comfortable stance. Maybe it's your squat stance with arms extended down at the sides. Cramp up those elbows. The biceps and triceps are working hard. From here, elevate the shoulders as a shrug and pull down. Then retract the shoulders. Protract, meaning reaching forward through the shoulder blades, and then end up back in retraction. Then take the hands out to the side as to make a T shape. In the T, the palms could face forward or slightly turned up. And from here, same thing. Elevate or shrug the shoulder and pull down. Then round forward, protract, and then retract. From the T shape, stay here if that's for you, or join us towards the Y with the arms overhead. At this place again, we'll elevate or shrug the shoulders and then pull down. Protraction, letting that shoulder blade round or slide across the rib cage, and then slide it back in retraction. From here, pull, bending those elbows, ending up in a W position, and then extend the elbows with the palms facing forward to reset, and then to shake. 2 times through those hip bars, as Lauryn said. So return to the bar apparatus for balance. And let's go with what's next.
Let's do it with a bent knee this time.
Excellent.
So again, standing tall, that glute is squeezed on the standing leg. Keeping our quads parallel, we'll bend that outside knee, flicking the floor away. Right now, let's get some hip extension, meaning you're gonna reach to the wall behind you. As you do that, keep your core tight to not arch that low back for 3, 2. Now keeping that heel really close to the bum, pull the knee through into hip flexion. Right now, that knee is pointing forward, the hips and shoulders are pointing forward, the foot is right underneath us, and we're trying to lift that leg, but keep the hips level. 2, 1. Keeping the foot connected, send the knee to the side, and the hips push forward. Holding this position. As you're holding, you're still trying to pry that leg open for a little bit more. Then pull back to center. We're gonna brush back to parallel. And once in parallel, we're gonna lift the leg right out to the side, keeping the knee bent and activating that butt cheek. Holding for 4, 3, 2, connect inseam to inseam, and then straighten the leg underneath. Whew. Exploring those positions on the other side. So again, tally tall, bend the outside knee, flicking the floor, getting that heel close to the bum, hip extension first. Gently reaching behind us, but keeping that core tight. 3, 2, then pulling that knee through and up into that hip flexion and holding. That belt line is staying level as we're here. 3, 2, send the leg to the side, but the hips stay square forward. Feel the cheek, you can touch it if you'd like. Pry that leg open. Pulling it back to center, brushing it back to parallel, and then from parallel, lifting that leg out to the side. Feel it, hold it for 3, 2, reconnect the inseams together, and straighten that leg out.
Second side always feels faster. I'm not sure
I know.
if that's because we know what's coming or it's intense and we go a little bit faster. But it's great either way.
Good.
Have your hands at your sides, elevate those shoulders, and then pull them down. With those shoulders pulled down, move your hands to the side like the T. Elevate the shoulders and pull down from here. And while pulling down on those armpits, continue to bring the hands towards overhead. Repeat. Elevate, shrug, pull down with stiff elbows, and then pull to that W shape again. One more time, working towards overhead. Extend the elbows to the T. Elevate the shoulders, and then pull down. With those armpits engaged for stability, continue to move those hands overhead. They may end up out front, and that's okay too. And from here, elevate or shrug, pull down, and then continue to pull the elbows to the ribs. Once they're there, extend the elbows, fingertips face the floor, and add our gentle wiggle. It's movement clock time and getting into the hard style planks. So create some room, move that chair out of the way. And again, Lauren, could you share with us your movement clock?
I would love to.
Great.
All right, you're standing in the center of your clock. Noon is in front of you. Let's take a single leg. And again, just like we did in that warm up, feel that pull off the floor, flicking the floor away, pointing it long, and then toe ball, heel, soft land. As that foot lands, we're maybe drifting forward, but that back heel stays heavy, that back knee stays straight. Then you're gonna push forward to go back to the center clock. Same leg, peel off the floor. Open to 10 or 2, point, hold, and then toe ball, heel, accept the floor, be soft like a cat, and press back to center. Peel off the floor, send the knee to the side. Point, hold, toe ball, heel, soft land. Press to center. New corner, peeling off the floor, sending the knee to the side, rotating on the femur to the new corner, toe ball, heel, this is 4 or 8 o'clock on your clock, and pressing to center. This last one, that knee bends, keeping the quads parallel, not reaching too far behind you, toe ball, heel. Both hips sit back, that front leg remains straight, and then press through and return the foot underneath. Same thing, other leg. Feel that pull off the floor. Point to noon. Toe ball, heel, land. Back heel stays heavy. Push forward to go back. Peel off the floor. Open to 10 or 2. Point. Toe ball, heel, soft land. Pressing back. Peel off the floor. Open the leg to the side. Point. Toe ball, heel, 3 or 9 o'clock here, still square forward with the shoulders and hips, pushing back to center. Pulling off the floor for 2 more. Open the leg, rotate on the femur, 4 or 8 on the clock, soft landing, you're now square to that new corner, and then press back. And last one, bending the knee, toe ball, heel, hips sit back, front leg remains straight, and then press through, flicking the floor, and tall.
To the floor for our planks. First time down, let's utilize that fold we prepared in the warm-up. You might start with your head neck looking slightly up, and then start from the crown of your head, rounding that head neck, chin towards sternum, shoulder blades back, and then flex or rounding through the spine, aiming to connect that rib cage towards the hips. You might need to bend your knees, and if so, please do, but keep rounding, 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 ending up in your safe forward fold. From here, walk hands out or feet out and assemble on an all fours position for a second. From all fours, pull the femur heads in to tailbone tip to the ceiling like a cow pose in yoga. Then pull the hips underneath, approaching your cat. Repeat once more as you tailbone tip, and then tailbone tuck. Repeat the tailbone tip. Then assemble in a modified position on those knees for a plank or a high position. Now that we're here, let's scoop those hips under one more time to connect those ribs to hips and add high tension, meaning pull those hands to the feet and feet to the hands. Straighten the elbows, squeeze your buttocks, brace your core, and create a high tension plank for 3 more seconds. 2, 1, gently knees to the floor. Whew.
Whew.
Rest for a second. Interval those planks for strength. Let's repeat that one last time. Modified from those knees or high plank. No matter where we are, we'll tuck under those hips first to connect the ribs to those hips with the core, and then high tension by pulling the feet to hands and hands to feet. Squeeze your bum, brace your core, make sure you're breathing for 3, 2, gently knees to the floor. From here, tuck the toes, lift your hips, walk back towards that forward fold position, and with bent knees like I'm showing, and most likely straight knees like Lauryn, round to extend, and then through to tall. Second variation of that movement clock, Lauryn. Let's do it.
All right. Second variation. There's just a note, and I'd like to see what it says. Oh, thank you. Yes, we're off to a nice little weekend at a cottage. It's going to be great. But until then, let's clock. This time, the stationary leg is going to bend and the other leg will remain straight. What that means is the knee will go towards over the toe. The moving leg will point to noon on the clock, and then as one unit, everything will assemble underneath. Repeat again. Knee goes over toe. Now we're pointing to 10 or 2. Light tap. Assemble, pulling under. Knee towards over toe. Reaching towards 3 or 9. Light tap and pull together. Knee towards over toe. We're reaching to that 8 or 4 clock out the back. Tap and up. And last time we'll have to roll over the back of that foot, pointing it as we go knee towards over the toe, reaching and then assembling under. Repeat on the other side. Knee towards over toe, tapping, but keeping those hips level the whole time. Knee over toe, 10 or 2, tap and pull. 3 or 9, reaching out and tap and assemble. 2 more, 4 o'clock or 8 o'clock and under. And last one, reaching long out the back, knee over the toe, tapping and pulling to tall.
Oh, Lauryn's preparing that core for high tension. Let's do that from the floor for 1 more set of reps. To get to the floor this time, let's utilize that hinge. Chop on those hip flexors, hips back, shins vertical. Hang out, feel those hamstrings, and then we'll probably have to break some of those rules as the knees could go over toes, and we tip to the floor. Assemble in your high planks or modified plank position. There we are. And then before we do the high tension plank, let's ensure the hips are slightly tucked under. Then cramp it up. 10 seconds of pulling hands to feet and feet to hands, stiffening those elbows, bracing the core, engaging that light shake, and then casually return knees to the floor. Take a moment, find a position that's great for you again, and repeat that one last time. So we'll lean over those wrists, tucking under those hips, and 10 seconds, go. Press into the floor with the toes and the fingertips. Pull the hands to the feet. Squeeze your butt, brace your core, continue to breathe, and hold for 3, 2, gently, knees down. From here, lift those knees up, walk yourself back to your hinge, where you have extended spine, vertical legs, and then extend to tall. Push-ups, they're coming up. Don't go anywhere yet, but first, the infamous weight transfers.
Weight transfers. We'll start with our lateral transfers today, and then of course, we must do our front and back transfers. To start here, you're starting with your feet slightly wider than your hips, but not too far away from you. Right now, let's feel that pull together as we pull ourselves down into that quarter squat, if you will. Then push one leg long, pointing the toe out and straightening that kneecap, but keeping the hips forward. This knee is towards over the toe. Now start putting that foot down and pulling on that straight leg, and then it'll bend and you'll press the other leg away. You're now pointing that leg out. Hips are forward, leg is nice and straight and strong. Hold, and then toe ball heel, pulling yourself across again. pressing away. We're over here, our hips are forward, nice straight leg. Now let's lift that foot slightly off the floor by engaging our glute for 3, 2, toe ball, heel pulling and then pushing across. Hips are extended, leg is pointed. Hold, 3, 2, toe ball, heel. We're gonna add on this time, pressing over. Stay here if you wish, or push into the floor, growing tall. That knee is straight, the hips are forward, then the knee will go back over the toe ball, heel, pull over and press. Hold, press into the floor for that extension. Knee goes back over the toe. One last time. Knee over toe, pointing the leg out long. Press into the floor, growing up. Then keep growing up, finding a balance up here for 3, 2, heel connects, knee over toe ball, heel. Last time over here, pushing over. Then pressing to an extended knee, rolling to the balls of those feet, holding. Heel connects, knee over toe ball, heel to center, and then push down to stand up. Push up time.
Push up time. Let's fold back to the floor. You might start looking up. Start with that chin tuck looking down, shoulder blades back, and flex. I like to think of a candy cane or a J, and we're staying tight to the body as if between those two panes of glass. We're down, we'll walk out, establish your planking, push-upping position here, and maybe it's from those knees. Screw those hands in, shoulder blades squeeze together, and for 3 repetitions, nice and slow, pull yourself down and press up. Pull down, core brace, and up. One last time, add this slow cadence for additional challenges. Then lift the knees, walk the hands towards those feet, and establish your tall position through your fold. Draw that belly button in. The rib cage stays low. Then we can lift it up and then follow it with that head neck. And a little wiggle.
A little wiggle.
That little front to back weight transfer, Lauren.
Here it is.
Time for one more push-up set. Don't worry.
Don't you worry. With your feet underneath you, and let's start in that slightly turned out or first position. You can do this parallel, feel free. From here, we'll take a single leg pointed out to the side. Then we're gonna draw a quarter circle, and that foot will end up in front of us, toe ball, heel it down. Don't be too far away in this stride. You'll figure that out pretty quick. Right now, let's push off of the back foot and find a balance on the front foot flat on the floor. And hold. We're trying to stay square forward, and then that toe ball heel of the back foot comes down. We're pushing off the front foot, finding a back leg balance and holding for 3, 2, and then toe ball heel. This time, let's end in center. We could go forward, we could go back, or we could go up to that demi-point position. From this position, let's push the weight forward onto that front foot. Maybe you even take off that back leg off the floor and hold for 3, 2, then toe ball goes down on the back foot, push off the front foot, get stacked underneath on that back leg, and hold for 3, 2, and then toe ball that front foot down, keeping the knees nice and straight, both heels connect at the same time. Push off the front foot, pointing the leg, and pull the leg underneath, returning to the standing position. You've been standing the whole time. Returning to the first position. Repeat the other side. Point, draw the circle to the front, toe ball, heel down. Again, with flat feet, find that weight transfer, pushing off the back foot to find a front foot balance. Then toe ball, heel, push off the front foot to find a back foot balance. Hold. To center, you're in between 2 feet here, could go either way, but you're gonna go up. Once you're up, push off that back foot and find that front foot balance, holding for 3, 2, then toe ball out the back, pushing off the front foot, transferring that weight to that back leg and holding for 3, 2, then toe ball the front foot down with both knees straight, heels connect, push off the front foot to point the toe and pull, returning it under. So tricky, so fun.
So tricky, so fun. One last set of push-ups, same repetitions, 3 because it's Lauren's favorite number.
It is.
But we'll take our time again, adding the additional challenge with time under tension. Hinge this time to the floor, pressing those hips back. Vertical shins for as long as they can, and then they might come forward. Our hands connect to the floor and establish your push-ups position. From here, we're pulling down to the floor and pressing back up. The body's traveling in a straight line as we pull down again, and straight line as we press. Final repetition, slow and control, and press. From here, you might adjust your stance, walk those hands towards feet, get those shins to vertical, that's our hip hinge, and then press the hips to tall. And shake and wiggle and wipe your brow and have a sip of coffee or water and enjoy the rest of your Friday or any day in the archive. Thank you for joining us here today. My name's Ian.
And I'm Lauren. And this was our Restore and Recharge at the bar. We'll be continuing our online classes forever, but next week we'll be back to that regular schedule, so stay tuned. And then coming September, we'll have a little bit of changes in our schedule, but we will be here and be consistent. Thank you for joining us. Remember to like this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Until next time, take care, stay strong, and we'll see you soon.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.